Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And I'll tell you what, we got a good one today, man. Sanity prevailed on my birthday here in the state of Ohio, and I am so fucking happy. They overrode HB68 in the House. Now, granted, it still has to go to the state Senate here in the next few days, so it'll be, or next week or so it'll be here then. But yeah, at least the House overrode it, so it's got a very good chance of being overridden in the Senate too, as well, for that matter. And it needed to happen, honestly. And what's even crazier is you had more people actually vote to override DeWine's bullshit veto of this piece of legislation that would have literally stopped children from being sterilized for life in Ohio than actually sponsored the bill and voted for it to begin with. What it was, dude. The original vote count when this passed was 62 votes. Today it was 65 for the override. And I'm guessing it was party line stuff, because that sounds about right for Republican, Democrat in our state house, what is here. So as far as I'm aware, it was along party lines and stuff. But you know what's even more disgusting, though? Is seeing the disgusting ass reactions from the fucking leftist pedophile fucking demons in this state and in this country right now. And specifically, I'm going to call you fuckers out at the Human Rights Campaign at this point, dude, because you're not. You're not. You are literally using a bullshit moniker while you are trying to sterilize children in my state and across this country, and you can go fuck yourselves, you fucking demonic cunts. Seriously. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. You honestly, I'll tell you what, you fuckers right now better be glad that I'm not governor of the state currently, which will possibly change in 2026 if we actually get to that point and I actually do a run again for that position and win this time around. Because I'll tell you what, if I was governor, every single one of you cocksuckers would be brought up on a fuck ton of charges right now for crimes against humanity in the state, for even pushing so-called gender-affirming care, which is to sterilize fucking kids by having them get top surgeries, bottom surgeries, put them on hormone drugs like HRT and shit like that is what it is, dude. And then tell them, oh, you can just pause your puberty, kids. It's fine. You can come back from this at any time you want now. No, you can't. And that's the thing. I even talked to my sister about this whole thing today, for that matter, and she's a hardcore Hillary supporter from 2016, man, and still does vote party line Democrat, usually what it is. Even she's like, this is fucking nuts what these people are trying to do, man. And as I was telling her, I'm like, yeah, and you'd be surprised at how many of them are actually like people who are the majority at this point, that are a bunch of doctors and stuff. And she's like, you know, I don't think that's the case, but it's like, and I told her, I'm like, well, in some cases it is, because there's a reason why you have, you know, people out there that have detransitioned at this point, that have been hoodwinked as, you know, children, 10, 11, 12, 14 years old, whatever it is there. A lot of young females actually have gotten double mastectomies at those ages. And they're now suing Kaiser Permanente. They're now suing other, you know, Blue Cross, was it? Oh, yeah, Kaiser Permanente is one of the big ones for the medical industry. And then it'll be other different places like that across the country right now, in California and Michigan, etc. there, where you had these children be told, like, it's just like Chloe, this is like I was talking about Chloe Cole's story, where this little girl at like 11 or 12 years old is told, her and her parents are told by some doctor, some medical professional, supposedly, of, oh, do you want a dead daughter or a live son? Like, who the fuck says that to a child and their family, dude? Obviously, somebody that doesn't understand Hippocratic Oath do no harm, obviously. Like, seriously, what the fuck is the matter with that person, dude? Like, that, how are they even having a medical license after saying some shit like that, man? To a child and their family. Like, that is some demonically evil shit, man. It really fucking is. And that's what I'm saying. And when you have the pieces of shit, the so-called Human Rights Campaign, putting out fucking horse shit, like, where's that now? This fucking garbage ass headline right here, talking about Ohio transgender youth abandon in damning day for Ohio House's Republicans override HB68 veto. You guys are fucking evil, dude. You guys are literal demon-possessed pieces of shit at this point. I'm going to call it like it is right now. You are pure demonic evil. And I'll tell you what, as a warrior of God, of Jesus Christ, it will be people like me that strike your fucking asses down in the future is what it is, dude. That strike down your fucking evil, demonic ways. When you were sitting here trying to sterilize the children of Ohio and the children of this country because you sick fuckers are greedy sacks of shit who sit there and make money off of pain and suffering of children, who sit there and facilitate lifetime patients to big pharmaceutical companies, which is the case, by the way. And that's exactly what the whole thing is, dude. It's all greed. It's 7 deadly sin shit, honestly. It's the greed of the medical industry. It's the greed of everybody at this point, dude. It's these sick-ass fucking people who want to sterilize children for their own fucked up benefit is what it is. They want to sit there and they want to turn these kids into basically sick-ass playthings for them is what it is in many cases. Because that's how fucking evil these people are, dude. And that's what I'm saying. I keep saying people, but they're not even people anymore, dude. They're fucking demons. It's demon-possessed meat suits at this point that are pushing this shit. It is the most evil of the most evil of the most evil that is behind this crap. And I will be goddamn if I sit here and fucking sit back and watch this shit happen to my niece or her fucking generation of friends, dude. Now, granted, my brother's actually sane enough to never have that happen to her. And my sister-in-law, too, for that matter. But the thing is, you know, you never fucking know, man. There could be some crazy-ass teacher out there in her fucking school system right now. It's like, how do I get enough of these kids to basically turn, you know, gay and trans and everything else like that now? And that's what it is, dude. It's not even these parents that are behind this shit. It's these demonic-ass pedo teachers is what it is in many cases. It's the exact same people I've been talking about on this channel, or not this channel, but this whole network of channels is what I have here is what it is, for the last, 5-6 years now, where I've been discussing, like, hey, these people, or so-called people who are obviously, demonically possessed is what it is now at this point in history, are pushing this shit on children. Because they're either pedophile enablers, or they're pedophiles themselves. In the teaching industry, etc. there. And that's why I had that whole fallout with Guns Barbecue and all those guys a couple years back now is what it was. Which, I have no problem no longer being friends with those guys at all anymore, dude, because truthfully, if they're still cool with taking the opposite stance, man, they can go fuck themselves, honestly, on that one. Like, I will stick by every single thing I said during that stream that day, and every single thing I say going forward on this channel or any other channel that I have on this site or any other site for that matter. Because I will never let people sterilize children. I will never let sick-ass pedophiles who should not be in the teaching industry be allowed to have fucking say around kids or even be around kids for that matter. Enough is enough of this shit, dude. It's time to stop letting evil prevail in this country. When you have people who have taken the path of Satan in the teaching industry, we have a huge fucking problem in this country. It is pure evil taking over. And it's kind of ironic that when you go back in history and you look at who a lot of the people were back in the day that were, shouting from the rooftops about various shit or whatever the case be, it was a lot of those chicks back in the day that were like, followers of Jesus. It was a lot of the old, the whole like Satanist music kind of cult thing, whatever it was there. And it was them being like, oh yeah, it's the devil's music and all this other shit like that or whatever the case be. It's like, bro, they were partially right, honestly, on some of that shit. I'm not saying like that whole thing of it, but like, Yeah, like they were definitely right on some of that shit though, for real. And that's the problem right now, is that you have these people right now, or so-called people right now, who are espousing and pushing the exact same bullshit now, dude. They are trying to fuck with your kids. And that's the one thing for me personally where it goes to fighting. Like, that's where I'm fucking dukes up. Let's go at it, bitch. Because I'm not going to let you fuck with the youth at this point. And that's my personal opinion on the thing. And that is my personal stance on the thing. And I guarantee you that stance is held by a lot of other Americans out here. And that's the thing, man. Like, here's my thing right now, right? You're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 30, 40, whatever it is. And you want to sit there and cut your dick off or cut your tits off, whatever the case be, dude. Or go on testosterone or fucking estrogen or whatever it is, the opposite hormone that you're not, born with is what it'll be there. A lot in your system. You want to do that stuff, or you want to go on HRT and stuff like that, and whatever the case be, or any kind of other hormone drugs for that matter. Have at it, Haas. I don't give a fuck. When you push these things at small children, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2, 3, 1, even in some cases, I've heard of stories recently where you have these fuckers now in the medical industry talking about pushing trans shit on fucking newborns, basically. And having a whole group of people coming up now in the medical industry being told, oh, you should just affirm these kids' genders as what the fuck ever now. No, if they have a fucking dick at birth, they are a fucking male. If they have a vagina, they are a female. It's that fucking simple, dude. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. The kid from Kindergarten Cop got it right fucking 30-something years ago now is what it is, dude. Like, the fact that you have adults now that can't figure that shit out, dude, is fucking pathetic, honestly. Or maybe they can, they just don't care to is what it is, honestly. And that's what makes it even worse for that matter, dude, because it's like, if you just don't care, again, cool. You don't care? Okay, cool, bro. Like, maybe your ass shouldn't be walking free then, if that be the case. Like, that's the entire point right now. Is you have people who are out and about and trying to fuck with the kids. And, and that's the thing, that's the real sad part of the whole thing, honestly, is it's this. You had people who 20, 30 years ago, give or take, were sitting there and trying to be all like, oh, if you legalize gay marriage, it's just a slippery slope, and then it's this whole other thing, or whatever the case be. And nobody listened because those people sounded nuts. Shocker. Fast forward 10, 15, 20 years now, they were fucking right, dude. They were completely fucking right. And everybody should have listened to them. Because they understood it. They got it. They saw it for what was going to happen. They saw the big picture decades before everybody else did, dude. And I was half one of these people back then even, dude. Where I was like, nah, man, like, this shit is not cool. Like, and I was sort of in the mix, actually, because I was Democrat at the time, obviously. And I was kind of on this whole thing of it was like, okay, you know what? Like, yeah, I get there, civil unions and stuff like that's what it was considered at the time or whatever then. And I was like, yeah, they should totally be able to get married and like have the same benefits as like, a married couple or whatever the case be if they, need to get like, because really the way that it was being pushed so hard, honestly, by the media too, for that matter, where it was like, oh yeah, they should be able to get married and, have the ability to, get each other's insurance if they need to have like operations and stuff. And it's like, okay, that's fine, whatever. Yeah, that's how it should be, honestly. But the thing of it is like, at the time, then you had the people who were all like, oh no, this is, whatever. It's, man and woman kind of thing is what it is. Like, marriage is meant to be between man and woman kind of thing is what it is there. And hell, you even look at fucking old pedophile Biden right now, dude. Like, that guy was all fucking, on that train of thought, 20-something years ago now, before we went all dementia out and shit like that. And he was even telling people that straight up. He's like, yeah, man, like, nah, marriage is between man and woman, stuff like that's what it is there. And, nobody really seemed to give a fuck back then is what it was. But now it's become a whole, talking point nowadays is what it is. And that's the saddest part of it all, man. It's like, you have these people that just want to fuck with the kids is what it is, man. And it makes sense because, again, you go back to what's going on in this country and what we've seen in our system, what we've seen in our systems currently is what it is now. With the left, they're not having kids, they're not reproducing, they're not doing anything, dude. They are dying out. So what do? They have to corrupt the next generation into their sick ass shit so that they can then turn around and use that generation of kids as their little fucking worker bees or little fucking soldiers, etc., dude. That's all it is at the end of the day. It's them trying to use the youth against the parents. It's why they'll sit there and push for shit. It's why they'll sit there and espouse shit. It's why they'll sit there and fucking, this and that and the other thing is what it is. And it's disgusting is what it is, dude. Seriously. Why do you have math teachers in American school district talking about transgender anything in the classroom, talking about preferred gender pronouns, any of that shit in the classroom? You're a fucking math teacher, or you're a teacher, or you're something else for that matter, dude. Like, none of that shit has to do with what you're here to fucking teach, man. Here's a scholastic fucking reader. That's what you're supposed to teach from, dumb bitch. Not, hey, kids, you can be this gender or that gender today, or whatever the fuck it is. It's fucked up, man. And again, it's by design. It's these sick-ass people who in many cases are mentally ill themselves. And if they're not mentally ill directly, they're on fucking all kinds of psych drugs and shit to where they might as fucking well be. And then they're the ones pushing this crap on these kids, man. And really, it's like, at what point do people just step up and put their fucking foot down and be like, no, fuck you. Not one more inch. And by the way, we're taking back about 10 miles now, fucker. That's what it needs to be anymore, dude. Seriously. It's like I talked about before with that stupid cunt Delaney Tar back in the day. And she was one of those Parkland kids is what it was. And she went on that whole rant and rave with that stupid ass little fucking pre-planned event that they did before the actual massacre even happened is what it was. And she's all like, oh, you give us that inch, that bump stock band, we're going to take a mile. That's what you should have taken, bitch. Right across the fucking mouth. From anybody there that day. Like, seriously. You want to fuck with gun rights? Fuck with this fist, bitch. Like, seriously. I'm dead serious about that one, man. That's what it needed to be, man. But nobody seemed to have the balls to do that, is what it was. So, anyway. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what I was doing right now. But yeah, that's the problem, though. You have these fucking sick pieces of crap like that, dude, that will sit there and they will spew this garbage, and they will sit there and falsely claim to people like, oh, you can come back from this thing or that thing or the other thing. It's like, no, you can't. No, you physically fucking can't, man. Once you take that path, once you take that road, you're done. Your body is done. You are not coming back from that ever. And that's the problem right there, is they will abso-fucking-lutely lie to these children to get their way, dude. They will espouse this bullshit to other leftist people and be like, oh, your kid wants to sit around and walk around in a fucking dress today as a guy because they're playing fucking dress up with a female friend or a bunch of female friends, whatever it is there, dude. Oh, they must be a little girl now. Oh, your daughter's not into fucking pretty little pink things and makeup and shit. Oh, she wants to sit there and put her hat on backwards and wear some fucking overalls. Oh, she must be a little boy now. No. There's things called tomboys. Hell, I grew up with one of them as a kid, man. You know what that chick is now? A mother to like 4 or 5 kids. Happily married to a man. Lives her life as the woman that she was born as. Like, that's the problem right now, is people don't get that, man. It just blows my mind that we even let this shit go as far as we have right now in our society, dude. And I think that's the problem, is that so many people just don't even care anymore. Or they do care, but they only care about like their own shit is what it is, where it's like, oh, it doesn't affect my family? Well, whatever then, kind of thing, or whatever, dude. And it's like, no, dude, like it's more than that. Like you should want to be better. Like you should want to make sure that these kids are not being fucked with. And that's the problem right now, is like so many people don't give a fuck is what it is, man. And it saddens me. It saddens me in my core, honestly. Because you have so many youth in this country that are affected by this kind of shit. You have so many of these kids that have had mental illness pushed upon them by sick, fucked in the head adults that nobody seems to want to call it out, though, for what it actually is. That's why we will, man. That's why I personally will here on the network. Because I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and tired of seeing it happen. You know, I turned 39 years old today. And I've just had it, man. I've sat back in my life for the past 20 years with medical issues of my own. Having to go doctor's appointments, all that kind of stuff. So I know exactly what it means to be a lifetime big pharma patient at this point, dude. Over some bullshit. Over some things that in a lot of cases potentially could be out of your control. In other cases are just some sick ass adults pushing garbage on you. And that's what this whole thing is right now. It's sick ass adults pushing garbage on children. Things that these kids need to never have in their systems at all. Hang on a sec. Sorry, brother was calling to wish me happy birthday. I thought my sister calling me back again. Yeah, we both talked though, and talked to my mom today. Actually, going back to family issue stuff right now for momentarily here. Was able to talk to my mom today, go see her at the hospital and stuff like that. She's doing a lot better, it seems like. Well, to some extent anyway. She's not doing like fully as good as she could be, obviously, because she had to go be taken back to the hospital from the facility she was at right now because of low sodium levels, because they won't let her have salt because the heart surgery is what it was there. And so she was having like low salt levels is what it was then, and it's affecting her mind, I guess, is one of the first things to go with the salt level and stuff like that when your sodium level goes down for some reason. But I think she said it was either yesterday or today. She had to go over and do something else then. And she was finally able to stand for the first time since the surgery. So that's huge, honestly, man. That's a miracle of itself right there. And as she was telling me today, obviously, she said, she's like, no, I don't want the house to be ever sold. I want to come back to it. Like, that's her plan right now, is to basically come back here and live at some point. So hopefully that can be, achieved here in the coming months, and that'll be the case. And it's not going to be an issue where, have to deal with a bunch of crap is what it is then, man. But yeah, it's like a whole thing. But anyway, what was I saying then? Oh yeah, but yeah, to go back to the whole like trans thing is what it is there though. Like the problem with that though is again, it's these adults that in their own minds are messed up in the head. It's like Gypsy Rose's mom and stuff like that back in the day. The woman was like clearly mentally fucked in the head, man. And instead of her actually, dealing with her own psychological issues and stuff like that, she's like, oh no, let me go ahead and like do this Munchausen syndrome by proxy bullshit on my child. And then make everybody think that this kid's all sick and stuff like that, when it was really this woman that was just sick in the head is what it was, man. So, yeah, it's just, like I said, it's fucking evil, dude. It's evil incarnate taking over in many cases and many people. And it sickens me in my core, honestly, because it does not need to be a thing, ever. You could easily have these kids be given the right way and be shown the right way and just be kids, for God's sakes. You know, seriously, let kids be kids. Stop fucking with little kids, man, for real. Like, if a fucking young boy wants to go out and fucking play in the grass or whatever the fucking case be, or whatever it is, you know, it doesn't really matter, honestly, dude. If he wants to go out there and fucking play and you know, wrestle around with his buddies and shit like that, fucking let him. That's what those young boys should be doing. That's their entire point of living, is to be rambunctious youth, legitimately. You know, they weren't meant to sit in fucking classrooms for 6 to 8 hours a day. That's where the whole thing comes in with the female thing, dude. Where you had these schools be designed for fucking girls and shit like that, dude. And it completely fucks over male youth and puts them in this weird fucking flux situation there where they're told, oh no, you need to be over here doing this thing or that thing or whatever it is. And it's like, fuck off, dude. Seriously. Like, nobody needs that shit in their fucking lives, man. We sure as shit don't need these sick fuckers in our classrooms that are supposed to be in there teaching math or some kind of language or something like that, telling these kids, oh, but you're transgender now, or oh, here's your preferred gender pronoun now, or some other fucking horse shit. Like, nah, man, go fuck yourself. Seriously. Like, that's the entire problem currently, is we are allowing these sick fucking individuals who are fucked in the head legitimately, who have zero reason to ever be in a child's classroom, to be teachers of these kids. Like, what the hell does that say about us as a society? We're letting that go on, dude. It says clearly people are not, they're fucking asleep with the wheels, what it is, honestly. That's what it's telling me right now. And I think that's what it's been, honestly, for the last several decades now, dude. Where you've had these parents, grandparents, etc. now, who have just been asleep at the fucking wheel, didn't understand what was really going on in the classrooms with these kids, because of the lockdowns in the last 3 years now, almost 4 years now, are finally waking up to this fact and are finally like, holy fuck, what the hell? Because they had no clue to begin with. And again, that's their fucking fault, honestly, in many cases, because they chose to be willfully ignorant about what the hell their kid was learning or being indoctrinated with in schools, dude. And instead of calling that shit out to begin with, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, they're just now learning about it right now, and they're just like, what the fuck? And it's like, yeah, it should have been a sound the alarm thing, what the fuck, 10 years ago, dude? Seriously. Like, that's the problem right now. Is it was a what the fuck situation like a decade ago or more. Now it's a get these fuckers out of the damn classrooms and put them where they fucking belong, in a prison cell. Like, seriously, we used to have things back in the day. We used to give people charges back in the day where they weren't allowed within 1,000 feet of a school. I don't know. Maybe some psycho fucking leftist piece of shit who is trying to gender affirm a bunch of kids has no business being in either the school system or the medical industry, for that matter. And sure as shit doesn't have the fucking ability or wherewithal to be considered a state rep or state senator, which is exactly what that fucking stupid cunt Anita Samani is right now in Ohio. And as I've said before, I specifically called out Jason Stevens on that 1 month ago, dude. I said, you guys need to kick this fucking bitch the fuck out of our state house right now. And while you're at it, strip her ass for a medical license too. And the same thing with Beth Liston on that one as well, dude. Because both of these sick demonic cunts are some of the ones that were totally for these kids being sterilized, dude. Two of these piece of shit Democrats, dude. Both are child pediatrician people, essentially. And it's like, how the fuck are you going to have any medical license in the state after that, dude? When you're pushing for gender affirming care, or in Anita's case, you're literally performing the fucking surgeries, you sick cunt. So, Yeah, it's like I said, it's demonic evil taking over, dude, across the fucking board right now. It is evil incarnate. And that's the thing. We have been in a war of God versus Satan for a long time in this country and in this world. And I believe people are finally just waking up to that fact here in the last 5 to 10 years or so, give or take. Hell, could be in the last 5 to 10 months for that matter, even in many cases. You know, I started seeing this shit myself about probably 4 or 5 years ago now, when all the garbage with the lockdowns and stuff started, and it just ramped up like crazy since then, is what it seems like. And it is legitimately people who are just fucking evil, dude. It is just the pure evil of individuals. It is people who want to sit there and fuck with your kids because they can, because they're allowed to, because you let them. And it's like, stop letting them do that stuff, dude. Stop letting these sick ass fuckers have any say in your child's life. And if you're a parent out there, or supposed parent out there, who's doing this shit to the kids, man, your ass needs to be arrested for child abuse. I'm going to say it like it is right now. You should be in a jail cell right now for pushing this shit at children. For trying to sterilize a fucking child. I think that's about it for today, honestly. I mean, we can talk a little bit more about this, actually. We might talk about this a little more, actually. I'm thinking about it for momentarily here. If you guys give me about a minute or two here, I got to finish up a couple things here, and then I'll jump more into a couple other stories I want to talk about the whole thing, actually. Because I do want to mention some stuff about the overall thing with the whole deal today is what it was with the override, and then where it's basically heading from here is what it'll be then. So... But, yeah, we're almost done here. Okay, we got one more to go right there on that whole thing. Cool. So, okay. And that should be the last one for the day then. All right, good. Okay, yep, looks like it's good to go. All right, so got about a half hour right now before I got to go to redo the game. That's what it is here, and that's why I'm finishing up the last thing for the day, because I was out from my appointment today is what it was there. So I was finishing up the last little bits and pieces of stuff I need to do here is what it was then, and get everything ready to roll then for the new day is what it'll be. So, but anyway, so yeah, so basically going back to what I was saying though, so you have a couple different stories here for this. You had the ABC News article talking about where's that here now? Which was Ohio House votes to override veto of HB68 bill banning trans youth care sports participation. So see, that's the problem again. And this is why the mainstream media should be able to get their asses sued for that matter too on that one. Because they're absolutely lying about that whole thing, dude. It's like bill banning trans youth care. It's not care when you're sterilizing kids, you sick fucking pieces of shit at ABC News. And it's why your asses need to get your fucking asses sued. Specifically you, Karina Alfonsanita. So that wrote this fucking article. Obviously, if you guys didn't see that in the corner there, stupid bitch Chris Christie finally ended his stupid ass, fake ass presidential campaign is what it was then. Good, fuck that guy. So yeah, it said the Ohio House voted to override DeWine's veto against House Bill 68 in a 65-28 vote. The bill would ban minors. I'm gonna say it like it is. They're not transgender, by the way. They're fucking minors, confused minors under the age of 18 from receiving transitional surgeries and sterilizing them for life, as well as preventing guys from taking part in girls' sports in the state of Ohio. So the Ohio Senate will vote on whether to override the veto on January 24th. So that's 2 weeks from today is what it is then. Legislators need 60% of the vote in both houses to override the actual veto. So I think they have it, honestly, on that one. I think they have it in the Senate, too, for that matter. So, yeah, it'll be 2 weeks from today is when we'll actually get the actual vote is what it'll be, which pisses me off on that one, dude. It's like, no, come back early and do it today, man. That's what it is. Lazy bastards. Yeah, I love how they say this, though. Physicians who provide this gender-affirming care for trans youth would be subject to discipline by the application of professional licensing board. Yeah, they should have a fucking license strip, bitches. Period in the story. So under this legislation, bill includes exemptions for this kind of care for non-transgender youth. It says grandfather clause allows transgender people already receiving care to continue to do so. No, actually, that is a misnomer on that one entirely. What it does is it says, hey, and this is off top of the before actually, it is basically, hey, if one of these kids would be on these hormone drugs and taking them off of them would actually force them to be a suicidal youth and potentially contemplate suicide and stuff like that, then they would be like, nah, bro, like, you can put them back on is what it is. And I just realized I have a soda sitting here this whole time, not drinking it, and it's getting warm now is what it is. So I'm going to crack that open right now. So I just realized it's sitting here now. I forgot about it being sitting here. Yeah, stuff pretty tasty. Canada Dry, baby. That's good shit right there. Sorry, I'm trying to, my thing. Because when I cracked it, it kind of got a little bit on my screen is what it was too, unfortunately. So what I'm going to do actually right now is I'm going to go ahead and grab a cup here that I was using earlier today. Should be pretty clean, actually. Just do some stuff here. Getting out the little remnants of the apple juice that was in there earlier. So it doesn't quite taste like apple juice anymore. And then just dump the rest of that Canada Dry into here so it doesn't really taste metallic on my mouth anymore is what it is. Gotta get all those last little droplets out of there, man. Don't leave anything to be gotten. So, yeah. Tastes much better now. Not quite as cold as it should be, obviously, because it was sitting there for the last half hour until I forgot it was sitting there. So, actually about 45 minutes now. But, yeah, what I find interesting, though, going back to this ABC News article for this whole thing, is what they say at the end here, which is basically at least 21 states have implemented restrictions on access to so-called gender-affirming care, many of which have faced legal challenges. A law banning gender-affirming care for minors in Arkansas was ruled unconstitutional by a federal judge. Yeah, which can be overridden by SCOTUS or any other fucking circuit court dumb bitches. And similar laws have been blocked in Georgia, Indiana, Idaho, Texas, and Montana while the cases are tried. So DeWine vetoed the bill, saying he agreed with several concerns highlighted by the legislator. However, he said he believed the bill was written would harm transgender youth and impede on families' ability to make decisions after speaking with those who would be impacted by the legislation. No, what he really means is these fucking people that they pictured after that and stuff, dude. These fucking Human Rights Campaign, all these other assholes like Ohio, Quality Ohio and stuff like that, were like, hey, Mike DeWine, you know those fat envelopes full of cash that Moms Demand Action gave to Allison Russo 3 years ago? How many of those you want to override this piece of legislation, buddy? Or to veto this piece of legislation and not have it be overridden, whatever the case be. He's like, okay, whatever, give me the money. Yeah, DeWine's a rhino bitch. He always has been. He's a fucking douchebag. He should have already been in Ohio prison for the last 3 fucking years of his worthless ass life right now. Almost 4 years now. For the lockdown shit, dude. DeWine, just like 25 other sitting governors at the time, should have been charged with crimes against humanity, legitimately, for the lockdown stuff they pulled in this state is what it is, man. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? Looking at who is in this picture right now. So you have a small child who I'm assuming this is the little boy that claims to be a little girl here. It's like 10 years old or whatever. You got this fucking weirdo looking motherfucker. You got this old fucking pedophile person in the background there. You got another pedo-looking motherfucker right there. You got some pedo-looking pastor guy over here. You got another pedophile-looking motherfucker next to the pastor guy. And you got this hardcore bull you-know-what right here in the corner, dude. Who was obviously fucking, at minimum an enabler themselves, if not an actual pedophile as well, for that matter. So, but yeah, that was back in 13th of December. Said organizers, including clergy, business owners, and workers, and transgender individuals, go to the Ohio State House to press conference on Wednesday, the 13th of December. Yeah. So, okay. So I love how they say that, right? Business owners, clergy, social workers, and trans youth. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. And that's what they consider to be a community in this country, dude. Like, nah, bitch. Again, there is a reason why you have, it is like 0.0, it's only 0.00000000001%. It's like it's fractions of fractions of fractions of a percent that are these people. And that's the entire point right now. So, then it basically goes on there about hormone therapy and fucking piece of shit, garbage ass people pushing crap like puberty blockers on little kids and stuff like that, and sex change surgeries and everything else like that. So, anyway, yeah, it's just fucking sickening, dude. It's just sickening shit. And like I said, I'm so glad Sandy won today. I mean, that's what it is. And then, of course, you had the fucking you news channel. And then you got the other one. This is Ohio House, but Ohio House votes in favor of overriding DeWine veto on gender affirming care ban. So, yeah, that's what it needs to be, man. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's the sad part of it, right? Like, even people who are moderate Democrats, which I consider my sister to be at this point, well, moderate, leaning kind of shit, like that's what it is. Even she gets it, Like when you have one-on-one conversations with people, or even like maybe like you versus like 3 or 4 people at that point, dude, that are willing to actually listen to reason and shit, and you explain to them like what this is actually doing, they'd be like, why are they even allowing kids to have these things to begin with? And that's what I'm saying. Like, who in their right mind thinks it's a good idea for a 10, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old kid, even like 7 or 8 for that matter, young little girl, to get a double mastectomy, have both of her breasts cut off, where in many cases, there's nothing even there to cut because they haven't gone through puberty yet to have anything to take care of. And then not only that, but the lifetime complications from shit like that. The lifetime scar pain. I've listened to stories like Chloe Cole's and other females out there who were pushed into that shit at those ages. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, etc. And dude, it just makes me cry. Because I know what that kind of pain feels like from my own joint pains that I've had for 20 fucking years now. I know what it's like to not be able to get rest because you are in such fucking agony for decades of your life. And for these sick fucking pieces of shit to think it's okay to do this to children. The day of reckoning is coming, motherfuckers. And it's as simple as that, really. And you're lucky. Y'all are lucky right now that DeWine is such a fucking dickless rhino here in Ohio, dude, because if there's a governor after him, whether it be myself or somebody else that actually has some fucking balls here, y'all are going to prison, man, forever. Minimum. For doing this shit to the youth of this fucking state, dude. And you'd be damn lucky if somebody like us doesn't get into you're going to be fucking lucky as shit, dude, if somebody like us doesn't get into power at some point at the presidential level. Because if that shit happens, oh, buddy, prepare for your last days of freedom, fuckers. Because that's what's going to happen right there. You will go to prison forever on that one. You know, Jonathan Watson, California correctional inmate, you know, this dude saw the problem and he fixed it firsthand inside the prison system when it came to pedophiles. For those who don't know that guy's story, I'm not going to go into detail about it. Just look it up. Jonathan Watson. It's JONATHANWATSON. He basically has a bunch of face tattoos, and he's kind of he kind of looks like a skinhead motherfucker, honestly. But yeah, he told the guard straight up, man. He's like, "Get these pedos out of here, or something's gonna happen." And something happened. The guy confessed to the shit after the fact, and guess what? He still hasn't been charged with it after taking out 2 scumbags in this country. You know? And it kind of makes me wonder, considering the guy was already in prison for life, like, is this why he was in prison to begin with? Was because he offed some other pedo on the outside kind of thing? Was it kind of a Dexter Morgan situation kind of deal, or whatever the case be, man? You know, it's like a dude who's technically like a serial killer killing other killers is what it is then. But in that case, it's like a dude who's like, you know, just like, you know, sane or whatever the case be, just like murking out pedos and shit like that or whatever the case be then. So, I don't know. But, like I said, I'm happy about it, honestly. Very happy. I think it's sad it came to this, honestly, dude. Because again, like I said weeks ago, DeWine himself, if he really, truly cared about the kids in Ohio, even if he didn't want to sign the shit, even if he was like, oh yeah, I have issues with like this and or that and whatever the case be, or it's like, maybe you should shift this thing or whatever the case be there, then just let it sit on the desk and just become law without a signature, dude. Like, that was an option. That was a serious option in this situation, dude. Because right there, it would have shown 2 things. It would have shown that you're a fucking dickless coward for not signing it. But it would have also showed, okay, cool. You know, you're to the other side at that point, or at least like the middle world, or whatever it is there, if that be the case for people. You were in a situation of, you thought you were kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing is what it is there. So instead of actually taking a fucking stand like a goddamn man, you know, push it out like a fucking coward and just let it become law naturally without your signature then. But even still, it would still become law then. But no, what did you do? You waited till the last possible fucking day. And you're like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and veto this legislation now because I've talked to the families, you know, the families that have a bunch of big pharma behind them there, and the big pharma companies are literally shoving a bunch of money into my fucking pocket and down my pants and shit. I guarantee you, if Frank LaRose or Dave Yost or anybody else in this state in the positions of power of Secretary of State, AG, etc. there, had the fucking balls right now to open an investigation into DeWine's ass, dude, you would find a fuck ton of money into some random ass accounts, whether it be directly his accounts or random family members of his account that are direct ties to him and stuff like that, whether it be daughter, son, you know, granddaughter, great grandson, whatever the case be there, or multiple people like that across the board right now, where it was like, you know, 100,000 here, $1 million there, whatever it was, dude. Because I know damn well this dude definitely took bribes to fucking veto that legislation. Like, there's no way he wasn't taking bribes from Big Pharma at this point. So, anyway. But yeah, that being said, that's pretty much a wrap for the day. I'm gonna go grab something to eat here in a minute, and let's give me my thing today. Thought that was interesting. Let's see, bacteria that turn us into fat storage machines. That's interesting. Not surprising though. So obviously that little thing is this is like a little ad buy thing for a book is what it is. It's like a lot bigger is what it'd be then. So, which I'm not going to buy that obviously. What I may actually do one of these days though, this is something for potentiality of like if the grid goes completely down and stuff like that. Something like that right there. Just get like a whole pack of cigars kind of deal for like as cheap as possible. And then have some trade fodder or something like that would be then for people that are smokers or, would need a smoke or something like that to like chill out or whatever then. And it'd be like, well, I have this fine cigar here. So it's like, what do you got in trade, bro? And they're just like, well, we just caught these like 20 fish over here. So maybe not quite that much, but yeah, it'd be like at least like 10 of them anyway. So, but yeah, that being said, like I said, I'm happy, honestly. Like I like truthfully, having not really gotten any birthday presents today, because it's just, I'm old now is what it is. Although I did get some stuff for myself not long ago that was considered a birthday present. Obviously, I got the good old tactical flashlight here. Is what it is. So, yeah, that thing lights up the room pretty well. So, that was probably the best Christmas / birthday present I could have gotten myself a while ago. But yeah, so anyway, like I said, though, not having any actual things to open today, I think this is the best birthday gift I could ask for right now, was having the Ohio House come back into session and override DeWine's bullshit veto. Now, granted, it's too bad that the Ohio Senate didn't do the same, honestly, in the last, 12 hours or so. Would have been nice to see them come in and be like, you know what, we're going to come back in too. We're going to override the shit too as well on the same day. But, maybe that's the belated birthday present for me, though, is the 24th, and they do the same exact thing then. So, yeah, 2 more weeks. 2 more weeks. Can't wait for that, honestly, dude. Really can't. And by then it will be good times ahead, interesting times ahead, fun times ahead, hopefully. And you will actually have Sanity win, that's what it is. So, Jesus Christ. I got to say this before we leave, though, for this whole thing, because I just saw this on Breitbart right now. How the fuck is this not high treason, dude? Biden administration imported 5 million illegals, outpacing annual U.S. birth rates. They're literally taking us over, man. Like, why are these people still in power and not in prison currently, dude? It just blows my mind, honestly. We're coming to a precipice in this country's history very, very soon. And I believe we're definitely going to see civil war in the next 6 months in this nation right now. When exactly it starts, when exactly it goes hot, is only a matter of time. But I think we're definitely heading towards bad times ahead for sure this coming spring and summer. And people need to wake up and be ready for it, man. So, yeah, it's a bunch of shit entirely, man. Enough is enough of this crap, dude. It's time to get back to Sanity. It's time for Sanity to continue to prevail all the time. And whether that be here in Ohio, whether it be at a federal level now, is where it needs to be. So, oh, Jesus Christ. We do have to talk about this one too, by the way, because it has to do with Ohio as well. Actually, both guys are actually from Ohio initially, at least by birth anyway. YouTube boxer Jake Paul to join Vivek Ramaswamy on campaign trail in Iowa. Why would you ever want this fucking idiot having to do anything with your campaign, Vivek? Seriously, like, you want to talk about how you actually cost yourself votes from people like myself, dude? It's by having morons like Jake Paul with you, a guy who should be, again, in federal prison for various riot crimes during 2020, including stealing shit from fucking malls there. And I forget what state it was he was in at the time, like Arizona or something, where he literally showed the shit on the fucking stream he was doing, where they walked up and just started stealing stuff and putting it in the back of their vehicle and then walking off back to the car and then driving off with it. So, yeah, it's just so stupid. Yeah, so the Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy will barnstorm the campaign trail in Iowa with social media influencer and boxer Jake Paul Sunday, night before the Iowa caucuses. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. I actually want to see what some of the comments say on this whole thing. Yeah. Yeah, somebody here says Vivek has provided real comic relief, but also some truth value to the campaign. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I said, to me, it's like a fucking clown car at this point, honestly. And that's more proof of it, honestly, dude. Like, what? Again, like, you're trying to run a serious campaign, then you go get fucking jackasses like this to be part of your fucking thing. Just stupid. So, that being said, I'm pretty sure Vivek is a Manchurian candidate, so there is that. So I'm not surprised by it, honestly. But anyway, so I'm gonna call lies on that one. So. Luke 17:2. Okay, so new state rep Beth Lear, who I'm pretty sure was a mega Trumper, if I'm not mistaken, that's just got in office here in 2022. Supposedly was trying to quote scripture to have basically girls in girls' bathrooms and guys in guys' bathrooms. But of course, the fucking douchebag media is all like, oh my God, she's talking about offing people on the other side. It's like, no, you're a bunch of fucking retards, dude. So, and what's funny to me is, okay, you'll have shit like that like go on trending on like the Daily Beast or whatever it is there, which is, by the way, Daily Beast is known leftist. I'm not mistaken, somebody Hillary Clinton, I believe is what it is, or at least partially owned by Clinton and company is what it is there. Or has ties to them somehow is what it is for financials is what it is there though. But anyway, I forget exactly what the actual deal is there, but I think it's something along those lines. What it would be. And then the real problem is, what was I saying now? Sorry, I was just looking at some stupid shit about that stupid bitch Kathy Hunkel is what it is there. I hate that fucking woman so much, dude, in general. Yeah, Kathy is one of these other pieces of shit that should be in prison right now for crimes against humanity for 2020. So, when she was lieutenant governor at the time, obviously. But, yeah, thing here about firearms used by U.S. agents. That's interesting. I'm guessing that would be, ATF, DEA, FBI, etc. there, most likely. Got somebody holding a Glock in that one picture. It's Glock o'clock, motherfuckers! So, anyway. But no, seriously, though. What was I saying then? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, that's the problem with the left, though. They'll sit there and be the biggest hypocrite douchebags of all and be like, well, we can totally talk about violence this and violence that and do direct actions against people that, actually kill people, etc. And then, God forbid, somebody on the other side says a scripture quote, and you're like, oh my God, they're talking about offing everybody that's against this bill. Fuck you. Legitimately, dude. Seriously. So fucking sick and tired of it. Anyway, it's almost 7 o'clock. I gotta go do some stuff, both in game and then obviously I just realized for like the last hour plus actually I've had the oven on to preheat for my food tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch that over to actually bake and then throw some stuff in to cook for dinner for my birthday dinner, because I was gonna get some stuff from a local eatery this afternoon when I was coming back home, but found out that the thing I was going to get from a place, that place particularly, it wasn't until we went through the drive-thru that they had a fucking sign on the drive-thru thing that says, sorry, at this time our building's under maintenance and is not actually open to the public anymore. And I'm like, why would you not have a sign outside that says that, dude? Like in the thing that's like, we are under maintenance until, this point in time in the month or whatever the case be now. Like, sorry for the inconvenience. Go someplace else there to get something to eat then. Yeah, seems kind of dumb, honestly. To where you had to go all the way around to the fucking drive-thru and find out through the fucking drive-thru window is what it was there, basically. So, because I really wanted some fucking popcorn shrimp tonight. And unfortunately, I could not get that because they were not there. So, for those interested, what I was actually going to go get, it was Long John Silver's. They have like a shrimp basket thing that I got over the summer, and I really, really enjoyed it. And, ooh, that was so good, man. And I wanted that again tonight for my birthday dinner. And, like, yeah, unfortunately, wasn't able to get it because they weren't fucking open is what it was there, man. And I'm like, damn you people. So now I got to go settle for pizza or something. So, anyway. But it is what it is, man. Till later. I will be back, hopefully, tomorrow. Well, I don't know. After this stream, I don't know if I'll be back at all for that matter. But, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow on this channel, actually. But our plan right now is to be back here for tomorrow's Buckshot Thursday. If we can't be back here for that, though, we'll be doing some stuff whenever then. And we'll be most likely jump Lead-Laced Anarchy's channel, if that be the case then. And using that for the stream, then, if that be the case. But, yeah. That being said, for this one, we'll definitely be, our plan right now is Buckshot here tomorrow on this channel. And then Freedom Friday. And then eventually I'm hoping to bring back Stand Your Ground Saturday again, because I love the fucking name of that chat, honestly, dude. And unfortunately, I did not get a chance to do it all the time, is what it was. So that might be like a once a month chat, actually, from now on. Like, it might just be like once a month, and it's like this weekend might be that day or something like that. That'd be the case then for like a chat that way or something. So, and of course, if we need to fill in for Honda or whatever the case, we'll just do some tadpoleish chats on here or something like that. That'd be the case then. So, anywho, but yeah, other than that, though, I am so happy to the 65 Republicans that voted yes to override DeWine's dumbass veto today, because I guarantee this was a party line vote. I guarantee if I go look it up right now, actually, it'll be a party line vote here today, which I do plan on doing before we leave this stream right now, currently. And we will go from there, basically. So let me see, where are we at right now? Okay, we got a bunch of stuff introduced, it seems like yesterday, and transferred to places. Designate stuff, designate bullshit. Eliminate thing. Regard unauthorized use of personal identification deep fake stuff is getting their first hearing on the House Oversight Committee there. Let's see, ODOT stuff. Condemn China. Expand eligibility of 40-hour teaching permit. Let's see, some compact things introduced. Doesn't really seem like much of other things were reduced. That was what it was there. Oh, here's a couple other things right now. Regards non-resident driver's licenses and international driver's licenses. Okay. So yeah, it looks like there's a couple things that were talked about in the last few days here, introduced in the last few days here, what it was, but not much of anything other than that though. So let me go look up 68, see what pops up here for anything. So okay, they haven't updated that yet, unfortunately, because I was trying to see what the actual who exactly voted which way, and I'm pretty sure it was party line vote and stuff, dude. 68 override vote. Okay, let's see here. State House News Bureau. Let's see what it says here now. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it looks like some people didn't even bother coming in today for this vote then. Like Abduli's ass didn't come in to vote for the thing or vote against it or whatever the case be. Like here's most of the list right there is what it is. Okay, so shocker. Let's see. Going on where we're at right now. So we got Abduli, who's a Democrat. We got Rachel Baker, who is a Moms Demand Action Democrat. Black Spear's a Democrat. Brennan, I think, is a Democrat. Juanita Brent, I know for a fact, is a Democrat. Daryl Brewer is Dem. Richard Brown is Dem. Jamie Callender is a scumbag-ass rhino. Tabby Golonsky should be in jail for being a BLM terrorist and a Democrat. Grimm is a Democrat. She's also one of the anti-gun fucksticks. Humphreys is a Democrat. Isaac John's Democrat. Jeffries is Charles is a Democrat. McNally's Democrat. Both Millers are Democrats. Moran's a Democrat. Muhammad's a Democrat. Not even sure who this person is, honestly. This must be one of the new people Democrats put in there, if that be the case then. And then we got Elgin Rogers, who's a Democrat. Alison Russo is Democrat. Mike Skindell is Democrat. Anita Samani, who is a fucking piece of shit child sterilizer and should be in jail right now and have her medical license stripped from her, if that be the case. For that reasoning, because she's doing these trans surgeries on kids, is also a Democrat. Bride Rose Sweeney's a Democrat. So is Thomas Democrat. Troy's Democrat. Terrence Upchurch is a Democrat, and Casey Weinstein's a Democrat, and also a hate hoaxer for that matter, who should be in prison since 2019 when he did that shit to himself and went that driver's fairly swatted in the state. So, yeah, that was all the asshole Dems who voted against the shit, obviously. You had fucking Callender abstain from voting either way, and then you had 65 Republicans say, fuck y'all, this passes. So, and right there, Stolfus is my state rep. So thank you, Reggie, for voting yes on this one, and every other Republican who voted yes on this one. So yeah, let's see. We got big day today. State Rep Jenna Powell posted Wednesday morning on Twitter. See, advocacy groups for the Soros, ACLU, and Equality Ohio have condemned the governor's executive order and proposed administrative rules. In addition to surgery, HB68 bars physicians from prescribing hormones and puberty blockers to minors and creates penalties for those who do so. Oh, you mean like actually stripping their medical license at that point for literally being fucking child abusers? Yeah, that's what the penalty should be, dude. And I'm not gonna say like this, dude, honestly. It shouldn't just be that shit. It should be them literally going to jail for trying to sterilize children. Period. In fucking story, dude, entirely. So, anyway. Let's see. It said the bill also mandates that K-12 and collegiate teams in Ohio be single-sex eligible athletes to bring forth civil lawsuits against an institute that violate that mandate. Veto override needs 3/5 votes in both chambers, but the Ohio Senate isn't scheduled to meet until the 24th. Spokesman for the Ohio Senate said last week it has the votes regardless of when they are counted. Republicans hold supermajorities in both chambers. Fuck yeah, we do, baby! So, yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be done. It's definitely going to be done. Oh, actually, I didn't realize that's who was doing this, the Senate News Bureau. It's that Joe Jingles woman, or Jangles, however you pronounce her name there is what it is. I actually got into it with this lady right here on Twitter like a year or so ago in the original network account on there because I called her ass out and the other person that did stuff for the State House from that news organization there for basically being biased as fuck because they were talking about it was the like it was I forget what it was. I think it was like anti-white racism stuff, whatever the case be. Or no, sorry, that's not what it was. It was it kind of was actually, because it had to do with not only that, but it was also basically holding kids down, particularly because they were essentially focusing on one side, and then the other person was on the other side of it. What it was on the outside of the state house, so you had like one person inside, one person outside. But yet they didn't bother to do their tweets and stuff like that on Twitter. There's what it was at the time, and so I was calling them out, thinking, okay, you're the only doing this thing or whatever here. Is like, why are you not doing the inside thing? Whatever the case be. And the opposite for their partners, what it was, where they were in the inside, not doing the outside thing is what it was. And then they were like, oh, well, we did both these things. Here you go. And yeah, it became a whole thing like that is what it was. And the problem is that, yes, they should have been cross tweeting each other's stuff at that point too, or like pinning that stuff as like retweets and shit is what it would have been. And it wouldn't have been an issue then. Because instead you had one person outside who was talking about kids and school vouchers. And then they were showing all the kids that were out there that benefited from school vouchers that were minority kids and stuff like that in this state, in this country. And then you had the other one inside being like, oh, but look at all these fucking college kids that don't benefit from shit and all affirmative action this and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, fuck you, dude. Like, that's the problem right now entirely. And like I mentioned before, dude, like any of these kids should be able to go and do what they need to do to get the best education they can get. Doesn't matter what their zip code is. Doesn't matter where they grew up at. If they can go to a private school, if they can go to a better institution of learning and actually learn, they should be able to do that with a school voucher. They should be having the power in their hands. And if their parent, is good with finances, which is what they should be taught, honestly, at that point themselves, is like, hey, it's your choice, parent / guardian of this kid. Like, do you want this kid in this shithole elementary school here in the fucking ghetto? Or do you want your son / daughter to have a better education over here in some private school that now has the ability to give you the school voucher that you can choose to take this $30,000 something over it is a year, or $15,000 or $20,000 over it is there, and put it towards this education here that would cover the entire thing. And you can tell the public education system to go fuck itself then. That has failed your child for years now is what it is. And that's how it should be anyway, dude. Because again, it should be the parent's choice and the child's choice, etc. there of where they want to go to learn. Where that kid should be able to go to learn. And not have to be it being a cost prohibitive thing because they can't afford to get, ahead. And I can see that person for myself, actually, dude. As somebody who grew up poor as fuck here in Ohio. And if it had not been for a local church giving me and my siblings the ability to go to a Catholic school from kindergarten to 8th grade and pay for our tuition, we would have had to go to public education and been way worse off than we are right now. Now, granted, we're still working poor, obviously. That doesn't change anything, obviously, in many cases. But yeah, we had a better education growing up that we weren't in some fucking ghetto-ass school around here or whatever the case be then, dude. So, and that's how it should be, man. Your kids shouldn't have to worry about safety when they go to school every day. They should be able to just go there and learn. They also shouldn't be indoctrinated by a bunch of sick fuckers who are just pushing their ideology on the kids. And it's as simple as that, really. It's time for sanity to prevail nationwide. And it's as simple as that. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.